Hi, how are you? Welcome to another episode of the Run Pass Option with Pro Football Hall of Famer Isaac Bruce and Doc Holliday. I am Doc Holliday, and this is a special post-game Memphis Grizzlies, Minnesota Timberwolves Game 4 edition of the Run Pass Option, which is being done late. Well, you can say early on a Sunday morning, 12:34. The Grizzlies game against the Timberwolves in Minnesota just ended couple of minutes ago. So I came down here in the lab because I wanted to get this out to Grizz Nation, to Grizzlies fans as soon as possible. And it ain't good news. It ain't the worst news, but it ain't the best news. The Memphis Grizzlies falling to the Minnesota Timberwolves in game 4 of the first round Western Conference playoff series, 119 or 118. And to be honest with you, the Grizzlies should have won this ball game. But I have to say that the Grizzlies didn't play their best ball game. Now, we know, well, in case you don't know, the Grizzlies are coming off that historic win in game 3 over Minnesota in Minnesota when they came back. First, they were down 26 points in the first half, erased that lead, was down by 7 at halftime. Then they got their asses down by 25 points in the third quarter, erased that lead, and came back and won the ball game, their largest playoff win, coming back from their largest deficit in playoff history, winning game 3 to take home court advantage back. So even if they would have won, even losing game 4, they still get home court advantage back because they are the 2 seed and Minnesota is the 7 seed. But the fact of the matter is, Grizzlies could have had a commanding 3-1 lead if they could have pulled it out and won game 4 in Minnesota. Now, I got to give it to Desmond Bane. It's not Desmond Bane's fault that the Grizzlies didn't win this ball game because he came out and did this thing. Desmond Bane came out and just straight balled out. He finished with 31 points. How many threes did he hit? 34 points because he hit a 3 at the end of the game. My bad. 34 points, 8 of 12 from three-point range, and Desmond did everything he could to make sure his team was in position to win the ball game. Desmond Bane did everything he could to help the Grizzlies win this ball game. He came locked in, loaded. I'm telling you, every time he shoots, man, I want to say John Witherspoon, bang, 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 because that's what it is. Because he has a sweet stroke, built up like a strong safety, man, but he can straight hoop. He kind of built up like Jared Jack. He used to play in the NBA, man. All swole and stuff. But the thing about Desmond, well, Jared Jack was a baller too, but Desmond Bane straight stroking that thing, man, from outside, man, finishing with 34 points. Like I said, great game for him, great effort for him. But unfortunately for him, he's really pretty much the only one that balled out amongst the starters. The Grizzlies' best player, the all-star Ja Morant, Ja was a little off. He just didn't really seem like he was ready or came ready to ball out with all the energy and intensity. Now, I don't know. And some people assuming he's hurt because he did take a knee to his thigh, I think in game 2 from Karl Anthony Towns, but he hadn't said anything about it publicly. The Grizzlies hadn't said anything about it publicly. And even if he did, I would think that would have been a thigh bruise, and I've had a thigh bruise before. And a lot of times, man, if it's really hurt, if it's really a deep thigh bruise, hell, it's hard to run and explode off of that, especially the way Ja Morant likes to explode off the court. But I'm not making any excuses for him because I don't know. He hadn't said anything. But I do know if you have a thigh bruise or something like that, they shoot it up. They numb it up. But I'm not saying that's what's wrong with Ja because I don't know Ja. So I don't know what's wrong with him. But I know in game 4, we didn't normally see the Ja that attacks the rack. That's a real aggressive on the offensive end because he really wasn't, it really wasn't that aggressive. People may say, look at his numbers. Ja finished with 11 points. He only took 13 shots, 4-13 from the field. He did have 14 assists. So he did do what point guards are supposed to do, is dish that rock and get everybody involved. Finished with 8 rebounds. But on the offensive end, he really wasn't that aggressive. He really wasn't attacking the rim and getting to the paint or even trying to. And I don't think it was anything Minnesota was doing. I mean, Patrick Beverly is a good defender, but he's a good defender. I know I was on Twitter and somebody said Pat Bear was in Ja's head, and I doubt that. I mean, I'm not in Ja's head, but I doubt that. I mean, Ja gives the best of the best at work. He just didn't really seem totally physically and emotionally engaged in the ball game. And you could tell. But he still dished out 14 assists, 11 points. And despite all of that, the Grizzlies still should have won the damn game, man. Still should have won the game. Because Desmond Bane balled out, as I said, 34 points. But Ja, ineffective on the offensive end and on the defensive end. Minnesota just kept going at him. Whoever Ja was guarding, it was like, go at him. So Minnesota's head coach Finch must have seen something, or obviously he's seen something that they could take advantage of Ja on the when Ja was on defense, and Patrick Beverley did that over and over and over again. Patrick Beverley was driving, kicking out, getting into the lane, getting to the rim when he wanted to, man, getting into the paint, making things happen. And he really not that kind of point guard, but he played that kind of point guard in game 4. Not only that, Patrick Beverley gave him 17 points, man. And I'm one of those dudes that be like, let Pat Beverley shoot, bro. Let him shoot. But damn it, we let him shoot, man. He ended up knocking down 4 of 6 3-pointers, finishing with 17 huge points. Getting in the lane, how many assists did Patrick Beverley had? Yeah, 5 assists. He gave up 4 fouls, so he was still being aggressive. But the fact of the matter is, even on some of those shots that the Timberwolves missed, he should have gotten an assist. But Patrick Beverley was just pretty much doing what he wanted to do on the offensive end. But he really wasn't that guy. Karl Anthony Towns, man. A lot of people talked about Karl Anthony Towns, how he been playing other than game 1. Games 2 and 3, he was struggling. We talked about him after the Grizzlies came back and beat them in game 3. You know, Cass was ragging on him because he said, I'm just going to go home and decompress and drink some wine. That's how I'm going to recover. So Cass was like, man, you drinking wine? I was one of the ones that said, that's your problem, bro. Bro. I was one of the main ones that said, that's your problem, bro. You're going home to drink wine instead of drinking yak and Blue Top and Hennessy and things like that a lot of people drink here in Memphis. Not me, but a lot of people drink here in Memphis. He's a wine connoisseur, but hell, apparently if that's what he did, it damn so worked. Because he came out and just went to work. 33 points, 14 boards. He was very, very aggressive on the offensive end. He played tough. He attacked the rim. He knocked down long distance shots. He knocked down mid-range shots. He just played with some toughness and some intensity, man, that really didn't show. Now, in games 2 and 3, now he did still do a lot of goddamn crying and whining. He does that. He likes to argue, man. So I'm like, Dolph, we need to send him to law school. But he came out and showed out. Got to give him props for that. Criticize him and talk about it. He came out. His team needed him to play well, and he played extremely well. He played like a young superstar. He played like you expect Karl Anthony Towns to play. And he gave the Grizzlies, my Grizzlies, I said he gave us that work. It is what it is, man. You got to respect the baller when a baller comes out and balls out. Just like we can talk about him when they come up short. Got to respect him when he came out and balled out. He came out and gave us that work. He has some help from his superstar buddy, Anthony Edwards. Edwards finishing with 24 points, knocked down 4 threes, shot 50% from 3-point range. He went out with a little knee injury. And I was hoping he was okay, in which he was, because he came back and gave us work. So they're 2 young superstars, Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards, combining for 57 points. Our 2 young superstars, not counting Desmond Bane, our 2 young superstars, on the other hand, John Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. only gave us 18 points. So they're 2 young superstars of Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards combined for 57 points. Ours of Ja and Jaren gave us 18 points because Jaren fouled out, 6 fouls. Only played 23 minutes, played 7. He gave us 7 points. So he was not that long at all. And we know Jaren Jackson Jr. has a tendency to foul, but we need him to play smarter, to try not to get in foul trouble. And I know I'm saying that it's not like he intentionally goes out there and tries to get in foul trouble, but he has to understand at some point that they're looking at him because he has a reputation of fouling. So the referees are going to look at him and maybe call a foul on him when he doesn't foul because they're what you call fouling, stereotyping him. Oh, he's a fouler. He's going to foul. Well, it's unfair. But it's unfair being a black man, being racially a stereotype. So Jaren Jackson Jr. gets foully stereotyped. He is the court. Oh, he's a fouler. Watch him. Watch him. Put eyes on him so he gets a foul call on him. So Jaren Jackson Jr. has Has to do a better job of that because we need him on the court, man. We really need him on the court. We may be able to get through this series of Minnesota, him giving us that, but we're going to need him on the court. But I say that, man, the Grizzlies lose 119 to 118, but they really didn't play that well. Aside from Desmond Bane, as a team, they really didn't play that well. And they still only lost by 1 point. And they really didn't play that well. Now, Brandon Clark did what Brandon Clark. Now, he's consistent. 15 points, 7 to 9 from the field, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, all kinds of energy. 29 minutes, 15 points. I mean, that's what Brandon Clark does. He's consistent. He's consistently consistent. Dylan Brooks gave us 24 points, took 3 or 4 threes, took 20 shots, took more shots than anybody on the court. And I kind of criticized him on Twitter, said there's no way Dylan Brooks should be taking more shots than Desmond Bane or Ja Morant. But in this case, he needed to because Ja wasn't really looking for his shot. Desmond was looking for his shot. There was a couple of times Dylan should have swung anything around to Desmond, and he didn't because Dylan has confidence in himself in knocking down big shots, which I can't be mad at that. But I ain't gonna, I can say the Grizzlies let one slip away, but Minnesota didn't take it. Grizzlies just didn't play with a lot of intensity. They didn't play with a lot of grizzliness. They did. Now, I watched the game and I didn't see, even when they came back in game 3 from 26 points down, then 25 points down, even when they was coming back, you saw that toughness. You saw that, they were just kind of chipping away at Minnesota and just kind of took their confidence. I didn't see that in game 4 from the Grizzlies. I kind of saw that, okay, we won. We got home court advantage back. We go out here and play, man. If we win, great. If we don't, it's cool. We got home court advantage. We go back to the crib. It's just going to be 2-2. And then the playoffs, you really can't have that attitude. You got to take advantage of all wins that you can try to get. You got to. Because there was another NBA team that was about to be swept on Sunday. They're like, oh, hell no. They came in with the attitude like, no, bro, I don't care. We down 3-0. I don't care. People don't come back from 3-0. That's okay. We're going to win this game. But, yeah. Now they come back to Memphis. Series tied at 2 games apiece. I think that game was on Tuesday. So we'll see. Hopefully Ja's okay. Hopefully we get more from Ja on the offensive end as far as scoring because we need him to score. Not only that, we need him to attack the rack because we need him to get cats in foul trouble. Because when he does that, he gets cats in foul trouble. If he's not scoring, he's going to the line. And he's getting cats in foul trouble. Now you're looking at the fouls. I mean, the referees, God, I don't even really know what to say. As a team, Grizzlies finished with 33 team fouls. Timberwolves finished with 23 team fouls. So we finished with 10 more fouls than them. So that gave them all those other more opportunities to score than we did. Because as far as in the paint is concerned, let me see if I can get to it. Give me the rebounds, man. God dang Wi-Fi. Come on, AT&T. Wi-Fi slow as hell in Whitehaven and Memphis, man. I be uploading these run pass option videos to YouTube. Be taking me a whole day. See, number team stats ain't coming up. See? Just loading. Can y'all see that money? Just loading. Still loading. Come on, man. Anyway, whatever. It don't matter. Hell, I can talk about stats all day. It don't matter. We lost the game. That's the only stat that matters. 119 and 118. Now we come back to Memphis series tied at 2 games apiece. So disappointing, but it's not that disappointing. We still hooping. But we the 2 seed. They the 7 seed. So shit. Go take care of them. But we gotta learn how to win this game. And Steven Adams even got some minutes. He didn't play at all in game 3, but Taylor Jenkins gave him some minutes. How many? Gave him 4. He didn't give him many. He gave him 4. DeAnthony Melton got 7. 0 for 3 from 3-point range when he came in. So, he hasn't given us much offensively this series. But, it is what it is, man. Grizz Nation listening. It's cool. We good. But I got to give it to Minnesota, though, because I thought after losing the way they lost in game 3, their asses were done. I was like, man, ain't no way you come back from this. They did. But they came back because the Grizzlies let them back. Grizzlies didn't keep their foot on their neck. Grizzlies didn't even really keep a pinky on them, to tell you the truth. But it's all good. Grizzlies lose 119-118 or 118-119. Because if I say Grizzlies lose, I need to say the Grizzlies score first. So Grizzlies lose 118-119 to Minnesota. Series now tied at 2 games apiece. Game 5 coming back in the M. Big old Memphis. Hashtag big old Memphis. So let's get ready. I am curious of what's going to be on the ground towel. I want to say big old Memphis. Because I still say when Josh said big Memphis after game 2, he got that from me because that's what I say now. I mean, I could be wrong. But I know I posted a Twitter video before game 2 earlier that day. And I was saying, everybody call us little old Memphis. Now, we big old Memphis here in Memphis. We big old Memphis. Then Josh said after game 2, they won. He said, yeah, big Memphis. So I don't know. Maybe we just, great minds think alike. But it don't matter. But now the series coming back to them. So looking forward to y'all, Minnesota. Karl Anthony Towns. We in Minnesota now. Now you're going to come back to Memphis. We ain't going to say you in Memphis now because you're going to know you in Memphis now. Your ass get on that plane and you come over and you see that bridge or wherever way y'all come, you see that bridge and that pyramid. You know you in the M. You see that bluff. You see the Mississippi River. You know you in the M. We ain't got to say nothing. Memphis announces itself. No one has to say it. We in Memphis now. We don't have to say that. We ain't got to say that. You gonna know you in Memphis. You know. We are on. You know what? Matter of fact, we need to start making people get passports to come to Memphis. Because not only is Memphis our only city, our own city, we are only state. Matter of fact, we're gonna be a district. Let's be a district like Washington, D.C. We need passports to come to Memphis. Let's start making people have passports to come to Memphis. This ain't no way everybody should freely be able to come. I'm saying it right now. From now on, get a passport, get it stamped, and go see whoever the king of Memphis is. There's a couple of people you got to see before you're allowed. That's how we're going to do it. There's a couple of people you got to see before you're allowed in Memphis. First, you got to start with former mayor Willie Harrington. You got to talk to him first. And if you get past him, everybody else is going to rubber stamp. So you get past Willie Harrington, he gives you he gives you the green light to come into Memphis. Cool. But Willie Harrington, then you gotta go holler at Fred Smith. You gotta holler at him. Them two got to get together and get your pads come through Memphis. But that's just to be downtown. If you want to move around through Memphis, through the different neighborhoods and sections, you got to get passports. That's other people you got to see. I know them. I'm good friends with them, but I'm not going to call their names on this show. They're part of inner city. They're part of the inner city kingdom. Like the Game of Thrones. They're part of the inner city kingdoms of Memphis. I know them. Good friends with all the districts. Because I grew up in the inner city. That's my hometown. I love it. I'm Memphis born and raised, born and bred. But it's like a Game of Thrones. So Mayor Harrington and Fred Smith can stamp all visitors to Memphis on their passport. That's just for the downtown district. And it's not the whole downtown district. It's from the Weston to Beale Street, FedEx Forum, Robert R. Church Park. Let me see. Yeah. Maybe what MLGW is, the Orpheum, but that's it. Mayor Harrington and Fred Smith can stamp your passport for you all to go there. That's it, though. Want to move around the rest of Memphis, inner city Memphis, you got to go see the kings of those districts. I can set you up. You know what I'm saying? I can set you up and introduce you. I can make an introduction. But that's how it should be from now on. You got to have a passport to come to Memphis. Then you got to have a passport that I call them districts, kingdoms, not hoods. Then you got to go meet with them dudes and get a stamp. So, yeah. But we'll see y'all. Patrick Beverly, you better stay. You know what? Nah, Pat Bear, I ain't gonna even lie, bro. I like you. I mean, you just one of them players, man, that cats dislike you because you don't play for their team. I like you, bro. I like what you be trying to pull. You be trying to punk cats. I ain't mad at you, dog. That's part of the game. I ain't mad at you at all. But I know if your ass would ever grab me, I would have hit you in the mouth. Fine or no fine. But it still would have been all love, though, because sometimes that happens. But yeah, we lost. We'll see y'all Tuesday. Moving on, other NBA scores. Let's go stay in the West because I want to go. Let's stay in the West. Utah Jazz beat the Dallas Mavericks 100-99. That series now is tied at 2 games apiece. They won it too because I think they were down like 4 points with 35 seconds left. I was like, Dallas got their ass. Utah tripping. Donovan Mitchell, he's been doing this thing, but he ain't really been getting much help. But they pulled it out, man. Donovan Mitchell hooked up with Rudy Gobert, a 7-footer who hadn't really been playing that much for Utah. Hooked up with him with 11 seconds left. Nice little pick and roll they ran. Alley-oop. Gave them the lead. But then, Dallas still got that dude, Luka Doncic, playing. He played for the first time this series. He had been out, I think, with a calf strain. But he played. He played, so he brought it up. He looked for a shot, didn't. Looked for Jalen Brunson, got it back then. They looked at, gave it to Spencer Dinwiddie, and Dinwiddie had a rush of 3. So that series is now tied at 2 games apiece. Donovan had 23.7 assists. Jordan Clarkson 25 points. Rudy Gobert 17-5. 10 offensive rebounds. So he was dominating on the offensive glass. And former Grizzly Mike Conley, the longtime Grizzly man who we had, then we traded Ja. And people were like, they're gonna keep Mike and Ja. They're like, hell no, they traded Mike up out of here. Only had 6 points, 2 of 8 field goals, so he's been struggling. And like I said, the Mavs, they brought Luka Doncic back. And he, his first game back this series, 30 points, 10 rebounds, which is what he does. But my whole thing is that Mavs have been hooping. They took a 2-1 lead without Luka, mainly because Jalen Brunson, the point guard, was absolutely hooping. He had space and freedom to look for his shot and get his shot, and he didn't have to worry about anything or anybody else because he was the first option, and it was all on him. If he wanted to take a shot, cool. About taking a shot. He didn't have to feel guilty or feel like he had to give his power away. And by him playing and making things happen, Dallas have been rolling. Luka came back, which he's easily their best player. So now Jalen Brunson had to take kind of like a back seat. And he was kind of off. He finished with 23 points, but he wasn't in the same kind of aggressive attack mode and doing the things that he was doing those first 3 games when he was able to roll freely and take them shots and look for his shots without really worried about anybody else. But when Luka came back, it's Luka's show. So Luka got to get it, and he gave it back to you if he wants to. But Utah tied it up 2 games apiece. Over in the East, the Sixers were trying to sweep Toronto. They went up 3 games to none. Coming up that nice little overtime 3-point turnaround, fading away to the left, 3-pointer by Joel Embiid in overtime to beat the Raptors in game 3. But Toronto, they could have laid down like, man, ain't nobody never came back from no 0-3 deficit. They could have just said, forget it, man. Let's go and pack it up. Let's just stay at the crib. We ain't got to go. But they like, nah, hell no. They came out with some pride. Won it. 1 game 4, 110-102. Sixers still lead the series 3-1. They still going to win the series. But Toronto, you got to give it to them, man. They came out, played well. The Raptors fans have been saying something about Pascal Siakam needed them to be more aggressive. And he came out and was more aggressive. 34 points, 8 boards. But the Raptors, they got huge contribution from my man from big old Memphis. Thaddeus Young. Thaddeus didn't play the last game. I don't know if he played the game before that, but he damn so played game 4. Came off the bench, 13 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. Played some good basketball. Gave them some great minutes. And he had one play, man. He just He caused all kinds of confusion with Joel Embiid. You got to watch that with the left hand, that one with the left. Big Joel Embiid, nice on his feet, but that made him stumble and fall, bro. Stumble and fall. Then Thad hit him with the lefty. Salt in his eyes, sprinkled him. That's how Thad was hooping. I also like Thad, man. Great father too, because you always see his two young Royals after the game. Then the post game, he was talking about him. So salute to Thad. Went to Georgia Tech, came out of Mitchell High School, but he's still from big old Memphis, and he has represented big old Memphis extremely well, not only in college but in the NBA. Family man, married. I think he with his longtime wife. Been with his wife a long time. I think since high school. It's kind of. Got the young Royals, so I salute Thad. He, just been an NBA vet. Every team he plays with, players like him, coaches like him, and he plays hard. And he's humble too when you talk to him and meet him. He just remains humble. So Daddy's had a good game. Joel Embiid, 21 points, 8 rebounds for the Sixers, but his thumb is hurting on his right hand. I say he's gonna need surgery. And it's got to be bothering him. It's got to be bothering him. Now, I'm a football guy, but basketball was my first sport. I played basketball for a long time. I played basketball at Fairleigh, even when we had those great basketball teams under the legendary head coach Sylvester Ford. People who ain't from Memphis may not know him, but the teams of Corey Beck had the White Stewart, Elmer Martin, 3 dudes that went on to play for the Arkansas Razorbacks, winning the national championship. When they win the national championship, I think 1995, led by 3 dudes from Fairleigh. Because I played on those teams. Those teams had another dude named James Richard Cummings. Had some ballers, man. So I was, so I know how it is. A Joel Embiid, you shooting that basketball, that right thumb hurts, but that right thumb really is so that ball can sit there, man. You shoot that thing, man. These fingers right here, you flick that thing. But if it's hurting, hell, it's hurting, especially if he got some torn ligaments. But he still gave him 21 points, 8 boards. James Harden, 22 points, 9 assists. But James Harden not the same James Harden a couple of years. James Harden like he be running in place. He can't get away from anybody. His feet be moving, but it's like he running in. It's like an old football move. Chop it off. It's like his feet just be moving in place. And the Celtics went to the Nets, man, and I ain't gonna lie. Well, damn, Celtics won 109 to 103. They up 3-0. And I ain't gonna lie. I just knew Brooklyn, not just Brooklyn, but Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. I was like, you know what? They're gonna play a whole lot better at the crib. Back at the house. KD is KD, man. There's no way KD gonna keep struggling like this. Man. Boston Celtics head coach Ime Udoka. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, brother. If not, I apologize. Totally out coaching Steve Nash. Because the defense they playing on Kevin Durant all in his chest. That's a defensive game plan. And those Boston Celtics are executing it perfectly. Get up in his chest, don't give them no space, put bodies on them. Jason Tatum long, Jaylen Brown long, Al Horford is long. Get in his face, man. And it's been working. KD looks so frustrated. He only finished with 16 points. Kyrie only has 16 points. Celtics won 109 to 103, so they this close to sweeping their asses up out of there. And Jason Tatum, I don't know what to say, man. Dude is he's a bona fide star. Bona fide star. 39 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, and the way he plays on both ends of the court. He hoops, got an outside shot. He'll take you off the dribble. He'll dunk on your dome. Then he'll D you up. And he makes good decisions. Bonafide star, man. His guy, Jaylen Brown, 23 points. And that defense, man. They forced 21 turnovers. I think they scored 37 points off those turnovers. Tatum, 6 of the Celtics, 13 steals. You got to give that young black man credit, man, for coaching the ball. They don't say his name enough. They talk about Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, But you got to give it to Coach. Ime Udoka. Great job, man. Because you coaching. Steve Nash, all he doing is out there throwing the ball out there and say, y'all go hoop. Kevin Durant, Kyrie, just do what y'all want to do, man. Y'all just go hoop. Now, people ain't from Memphis. We used to have something called the Bluff City Classic. Got great, because we got some great basketball players that came out of Memphis, still in Memphis. So, but it was the summer league. Cats coming straight hoop. They just hoop. Coaching, what? Just go hoop, man. You may have 5, 6 cats show up. You might have 2 or 3. But they just hoop. That's what the Nets doing. No game plan, no execution. Steve Nash, y'all just go hoop. That ain't working. Because Boston got hoopers and they're coached up. Not only that, they got to respect their coach because they're playing hard and they're executing his game plan. And before the game, I tweeted out, oh, KD going for 30. KD went for 16. Only took 11 shots, hit 6. Kyrie went 6-17. I think he went like 0 of 7 from three-point range. If I'm wrong, y'all let me know. Shut him down. KD looked totally frustrated. And it happens, man. It happens. I know Kendrick Perkins said some stuff about, he tapped out. And I think somebody else said that the Celtics punked him out. I don't think that's what it is. They frustrate the hell out of his ass, though. He may have been like, man, these boys just hard to beat. That don't mean he quit. You keep playing hard, but you're just like, man, these young men just hard to beat. I ain't never seen KD struggle like that, but it happens. But now everybody wants to say, does it tarnish his legacy? How? Because he had in a bad series? How? Not to me, it don't. It doesn't. So the Celtics, and let me remind people who keep acting all surprised, they are the 2nd seed in the East now. The Nets are the 7th seed. They had to get into the playoffs by winning the play-in game. So Boston's supposed to win this series now. But I think it's because they got Kevin Durant and Kyrie. Those two, rightfully so, people expect the Nets to play better. But come on, man. Boston is the 2 seed. They really a team. Marcus Smart, they got the defensive player of the year. They got 2 dogs. They got more than 2 dogs. They got them 2 dogs. So, and speaking of dogs, man, look, Tyson Fury, bro, boxing. I love boxing. I used to box too. That's why I'm good with these hands. It's God-given because my daddy was good with them hands. Marine, went to the Vietnam War, he's Vietnam veteran. He was a boxer in the Marines too. So I used to love boxing. Used to box for the Memphis Police Boxing Academy. They used to have a little academy downtown, what St. Jude is now. But anyway, Tyson Fury, man, back home, he beat the hell out of Dillian Whyte to retain the heavyweight championship. TKO in the 6th round. Hey, hit him with an uppercut. Look, he hit him with an uppercut, man. And even just Tyson Fury is a big ass dude. These heavyweights, but he like a super, super heavyweight. And Dillian Whyte is a big dude, but he looks like a little dude compared to Tyson Fury. And Tyson Fury got those feet. He's agile, man. And him coming back from where he came back from, man, being strung out on doing drugs and being an alcoholic and being overweight and people counting him out. To come back and be the heavyweight champion. And he came over here to America and staked his claim. Because I don't even want to begin to just even talk about what he did to Deontay Wilder. But, hey, man, got to give it to Tyson Fury. Back, he fought in Wembley Stadium, his home country. 94,000, man, to watch a boxing match. They said it was 94,000 in there. And Tyson gave him what they came to see, him beating the hell out of somebody, which he did. He hit Dillian Whyte, man, with that uppercut. It's almost like it caught him, like on the side. And when he hit, it was like when Mike Tyson hit Trevor Berbick that time. And Trevor Berbick was trying to get up. Boom. That's what he was looking like. That lick must have been hard as hell, bro. Because the referee like come to him, and he was looking like Martin. He said, "Let me get 2 bush passes of Caesar dressing." When Tommy Hearns put that work on him, he was trying to fight the referee. That what Dillian was looking like. I can laugh about it because he okay, but he not confusing in his ass. For real, that's what he looked like. When Thomas Hearns hit Martin in that episode, and Martin was trying to fight the referee, looking, his ass was out of it. So Tyson Fury, salute to you, man. You are the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world because you didn't took on everybody that wanted to fight you and take the belts. You beat their ass. And he said he may retire, and if he does, he will retire 32-0-1. He will retire at 33 years old. And it's something about that number, man. It's 33 it's a lot. People, it's another conversation. Anyway, but Tyson Fury, salute to you beating the I didn't curse y'all. I didn't curse. Beating the heck out of Dillian Whyte. 6-round TKO right uppercut. So, salute to you. But yeah, that's going to do it. It's really a Grizzlies, Minnesota Timberwolves game for a post-game show. But, of course, I got to talk about other NBA games that went on Sunday. And since I like to fight, I got to give props to Tyson Fury for knocking another cat out. Big dude coming back, especially with the story he said he had. People over there in England, United Kingdom, counting him out. You're a bum. But then when he said he was about to drive this Lamborghini or some Ferrari off a bridge one, he was about to commit suicide, man, a couple of years ago, and said some told him like, no, man, you tripping, you got a wife and kids. Then he turned his life around, and now he's the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world without argument. Salute to you, man. Salute to you. But that's going to do it for this episode of the Run Pass Option. Burp. Let me do it again. That's going to do it for this episode of the Run Pass Option with Pro Football Hall of Famer Isaac Bruce and Doc Holliday. We talk sports. I thought I had froze because we know sports. I'm out.